So my last updated search statement was face and recognition and profiling. I used this technique to help me find sources that would connect face recognition to profiling, which is why I used the and. Although I've decided to switch up my research tools, and based off the peer evaluation and feedback that I got, I thought it would be good. It would be a good idea to see what would happen if I Googled my search statements. And for this search, I found good sources. I just kind of, when I'm looking through, when I put in my search statement, I kind of just go through and look for the keywords. So face recognition, and I came across this BBC News article. It's dated from May 13th, 2019, so fairly recent. On its content, it discusses the implications on facial recognition within minorities. The main strength was that I found that it was relevant for my research and it was accurate and consistent with all my other research that I've done so far. Although the main weakness is that it focuses strictly on the implications within the UK, so it would be difficult to make general assumptions off of its information because it could be inaccurate. This is the British version of ABC News, and it's very popular, so I found it to be accessible for my research and very reliable. Although, so now for my next search statement, I'm kind of looking for something more broad that will tell me the implications of facial recognition around the entire world. So I'm going to kind of try to separate the face recognition and discrimination. So I'm going to use quotation marks and still using the and, so to connect my concepts. So kind of going through and just looking at headlines, seeing if anything kind of catches my attention. So I found this one. It is off of a CNET website, which is actually owned by CBS. So this is a blog post. It was published on March 27th, 2019. So it's also fairly recent, although the previous one was a little newer. So the content could be more detailed and more better to use for my research. I found that the main strength of this was that it was more broad and included a lot of information on the implications of facial recognition on every country around the world. It gave me a lot of new information about where it began, and includes how main contributions of this new facial recognition technology is traced back to China and Russia. Although the main weakness is that it repeats a lot of what my last source said, so I don't know if I would be able to use it for a lot of my research. Although it's I found it to be accessible and acceptable, just based off its credibility. So now that I kind of get the gist of my research and what I'm looking for, I'm interested in looking at more about China and Russia and kind of what their contributions and where this technology began. So I now am going to change my search statement to include China. So I am now including the word China, so that this way I can now find sources that will give me information on China specifically, which is what I'm interested. So I kind of go through again and just see if anything kind of looks good. I found this article on the New York Times, and it is an online newspaper article. It was published April 14th, 2019, so it's dated right in the middle of my last two sources, and it corresponds directly to my search statement and is completely accurate in what I'm looking for. Based off the merit of the New York Times, I consider it to be a reliable and an accessible source that I would use for my research. Thank you.